And Port Adelaide.
A lot has gone right for Port Adelaide this season.
Port Adelaide is revered as the
Port Adelaide's banking on
about footy is Port Adelaide.
It's Port Adelaide football.
What's going on, Port fans? Welcome back to another video on my channel. Today we are talking Port Adelaide. In this week's edition of Talking Port Adelaide in the off-season, we've got many things to talk about, as there always is at this stage of the year. It's still the silly season. We've got the delisted free agency period about to happen. The fixture is about to be announced. International rules is coming along, and the JLT series matches have been announced as well. So let's start firstly with the fixture for 2018. Essentially, what we know so far is Port Adelaide obviously will be playing Gold Coast in Shanghai in round 9. That will happen on the 18th of May or 19th of May on a Saturday afternoon, broadcasted by Fox Footy. Obviously, that would be at Adelaide Arena, well, as we know, is John Wang Stadium. And the other fixture that we know so far is round 1 will be at Adelaide Oval, 4:05 PM on a Saturday afternoon against Fremantle. So our last year's first home game was against Freo. That was in round 2, and obviously now this year round 1, first home game for the year is also against Fremantle. So we can essentially say it's a good start for the year. We can set ourselves up with a great first win, hopefully. As we know, anything can happen in a new season. So we're going to be on our game, and hopefully the new recruits can stand up. The fixture is announced on Tuesday, the 31st of October, so only a couple of days away. There is another video that I'll be putting out probably tomorrow, which essentially explains what we want, what we need, and what to expect from the fixture for 2018. So this is just a little quick fix to see exactly what to expect. I'm quite happy with playing Fremantle at home. Essentially, I think that's a good start. It's an easier fixture than I was expecting. Not too happy about the 4:05 time slot on a Saturday. That's like a fill-in time slot, really. And it's not really a game where we can prove a point. Whereas last year we announced ourselves against Sydney, in Sydney. This year it's more of a softer start. Maybe Fremantle will improve over the off-season and it'll be a good game of footy. That's all question marks that we don't exactly know of as yet. So, yeah, it's debatable, but I'm quite happy. First home game, Fremantle. We'll get there, 40,000 people, pack the Fortress, and we'll start cheering for our boys. So, fixture for next year, round 1, it's going to be a beauty. And speaking of fixtures, the JLT series fixture has been announced. They've changed the dynamic of it. Instead of having I think it was 4-week period for 3 games for each team, obviously. This is a 3-week period, 2 games per team, 1 away and 1 at home for most teams, besides the Adelaide Crows, who got 2 home games, those lucky son of a... Essentially, we play Port play West Coast in Perth. Well, not Perth, I think Western Australia, I think it is. Leaderville Oval. It is on the 25th of February on a Saturday afternoon. So if there's any Port fans out in the country, Western Australia, and you're watching this, get to the game and cheer on the boys. I'm sure the cheer squad and many other Port fans will travel over for the JLT series. Even though it's pre-season, we still like to get behind the boys. The next one is a very, for me, controversial. And not for the fact that it's against Adelaide. It's more the fact that it's Alberton Oval. Now, the thing that's controversial is the Adelaide Crows are coming to to Alberton Oval, and it's a pre-season showdown. For me, the most controversial part is the fact that it's a pre-season showdown, and we've had many discussions and arguments over the years, whereas basically stating that a showdown is nothing in a pre-season, and it takes away the dynamic of that special feeling for a showdown, that rivalry. It's sort of a nothing game, but for fans, it doesn't matter what it is, a pre-season or not, that's going to have some feeling behind it. And especially being so close to the season on the 10th of March, that's also on a Saturday, it's going to be a very feisty affair, I think, with 2 weeks out from the first game of the year. I think the good thing is that we don't travel for the last game of the JLT series. I know it won't have much effect, but to have that game at Alberton and then have 2 weeks off essentially, staying at home, and then to round 1 at home against Fremantle. We have a month or so there where we don't have to travel, and we can prepare ourselves for a good start to 2018. So let me know, Port fans, what you think of our fixtures for round 1 against Fremantle, and obviously the JLT series matches against West Coast and Adelaide. What do you expect from those games? And yeah, essentially, how do you feel about them? And yeah, I'm happy with the fixtures, to be honest. I don't like the JLT series. I prefer those, what are they called? Intra-club matches. That's the one, where they have a bit of fun against your teammates. But against the opposition, it prepares yourself for a good season ahead. So they're the fixtures for 2018 JLT series and round 1 for 2018. More on the fixtures and less about Port Adelaide, but more about something that's coming up on the 12th of November at Adelaide Oval is the International Rules Series. I'm going to the International Rules game at Adelaide Oval. It's going to be an exciting game. Let me know if you're going. Port fans, I want to see as many of you there. Cheer on Travis Boak, Paddy Ryder and Chad Wingard, who are taking part in that game. It should be a feisty affair. Personally, I've never seen the International Rules live. I've always watched it on TV. I think it's fascinating, and I really love that aspect of the round ball, to be able to basically combine soccer, AFL, and rugby into Gaelic football. Essentially, that's what it is, Gaelic footy, which Irish play so well. But I think at home, International Rules in Adelaide, it's going to be a good affair. So keep an eye out for that one. That's in a couple of weeks on November the 12th, which is a Sunday afternoon at 3:40 p.m. So keep an eye out for that, and keep an eye out for our boys as well. Lastly, I just wanted to talk about the Delisted free agency period that's coming up. More names have been linked with Port Adelaide, and I know with the trade period, we basically got rid of those fringe players at that 25th to 30 player mark in the list, essentially, have all been moved to different clubs. And I think now we're looking to fill those spots again with more depth in our team. Maybe players that can step up to the plate and do a good job for Kenny and for the team. So those players that have been mentioned, we already know about Lindsay Thomas, who's been linked to the club. No more than the reports that have really come out from that. He hasn't toured the facilities. No statements from either the club or his management have mentioned anything as of what I don't know anyway. But nothing really. That's sort of stalemated. It's been reported multiple times, so we'll see how that pans out in the next couple of weeks. The new one that I've come across over the last few days is Jackson Merritt from the Essendon Football Club. He's a 25-year-old who has apparently toured the Port Adelaide club rooms the other day. So maybe he's another one. He's obviously the older brother of Zach Merritt, who is the young gun from the Bombers. He might be a handy pickup, that half-forward, mid-type player. We've got many of those, but that depth in the Magpies and having someone just in case we get an injury or something like that, he might come in handy. So keep an eye out for him. The other one that has been linked as well is Aaron Mullett from the North Melbourne Football Club. He and Lindsay Thomas, obviously both teammates as of current, but Aaron Mullett, I think, has been delisted. He has a booming left foot kick from the half-back flank. He might be a good addition, but I think we've got a lot of those players already in our side with the likes of Broadbent, Hartlett. We've got Houston, Pittard, Bonner. I can name a few more as they go through the list. So we've got that depth in that type of position. He could be moved onto the wing and be a Pollock-type player. But he is out of the four that I'm about to mention, probably the more unlikely type, and it's more speculation than anything like that at the moment. The last one I wanted to mention was Trent McKenzie. Now, we have heavy interest in Trent McKenzie. He's been linked with the club. He's been reported multiple times from multiple sources. Even Campbell Brown came out during the week on SEN stating that he believes that Trent McKenzie is the most likely to end up at Port Adelaide. He is a great winger, great left foot kick, and I reckon he could add some depth to the team. And he's quite an accurate kick too, and he can kick a long, long way. We've seen him at the Gold Coast multiple times kicking those booming left foot 70-metre bombs, essentially. So, out of the four as well, he would definitely be one I'd love to pick up. I reckon he could add great depth. He's got some run. He could play forward. He can play back, wing, in the midfield, and he'll just add that depth and that grunt that we need, just in case an injury happens to one of our best 22 players. So, Port fans, let me know what you think of those players, and let's see what happens with those four names that I've just mentioned. We do need the depth, so a couple of those might come in handy. Personally, I'd take Jackson Merritt and Trent McKenzie along. The other two I don't really like, especially Lindsay Thomas. I've stated that in another Talking Port Adelaide I did last week, so if you want to watch that and see my thoughts on him, I'll leave a link in the bottom and you can have a look yourself. But yeah, Port fans, let me know what you think. Which players should out of those four we should pick up? Alright, Port fans, that is another Talking Port Adelaide done and dusted for 2000, not for the year, another one done for the week. I'm thinking of doing these at least once a week, once a fortnight. Let me know if you're enjoying these Talking Port Adelaide videos. They're not a fill-in video by any means. I think just bringing some information on certain topics that have come around over the last week or two, giving my thoughts on that and the players that we're getting. So if you enjoy it, smash that like button. Not smash it, but tap it. Just tap it. And yeah, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe for more Port Adelaide content. Fixture, draft, Delisted free agency period coming up. Many things to talk about. I'm going to do some more things across the off-season as well until round 1 next year, which is only 4 months away. No, 5 months away. Too long. Bring back footy. Anyway, that's it. Porches Podcast, 8 p.m. Wednesdays. This week is on Tuesday, so tune in on Spreaker. Go to the page as well. It is in the link in the description below. And follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat for many things. I don't know, just promoting my social media because I want to. And yeah, that's it. Thanks very much, Port fans. My name's Anthony, and go the power.